Hey, what's up? It's Comic95, the Savior. For this video, I'm going to make possibly a 2 to 3 part series. I will let you guys know and I will create an entire playlist for it regardless of how many videos I choose to make. But I wanted to talk to you guys about being mixed race here in Japan. I'm not going to expose any of you that asked because I don't know how personal this question was for you, but I get asked this question a ton. People ask me, through email, on Instagram. I've even had people, ask me on Twitter, etc. Pretty much everywhere except for Snapchat and Facebook. And with that said, I figured instead of just answering people's question over and over again and not answering a question that some of you might have but just have been too afraid to message me, I will simply answer it here. Now for the first part, I'm going to talk about foreigners who are mixed race, not people that are biracial, as in half Japanese and living in Japan. That will be for part 2. So now let's talk about part number 1. So what is it like in Japan as someone who is mixed race? How are people going to treat you? How will they look at you, etc.? The reality is very similar to your home country more than likely. People don't know what you are. So you're really overthinking it, just like how you probably did in your home country. I'm going to speak from an American point of view. I know some of you guys are from, or a lot of you guys are from other countries. I've looked at my statistics. I have a lot of people watching me that are from the United Kingdom, as well as New Zealand, and even Africa and Norway, which Norway was kind of shocking to me. So, hi. But anyway, as far as being mixed race goes, once again, it's normally all inside of your mind. So yes, people do notice that, you look a little bit odd and different, but especially when you're, in a place where people don't focus so much on color, nobody's gonna care that you're mixed race. They're really not. So the way that you will be judged and viewed here is based off of your appearance. And what I mean by that is, there's only 2 races in Japan. I'm going to be as straightforward as possible. I'm not sugarcoating stuff. I'm not going to go into grave detail. Just stay with me here. And what I mean by that is, Japanese people don't bother with all of the mixes of stuff. You're either black or you're white. And to be honest, most of the world, as well as Europe, America, wherever, judges this the exact same way. So the way that it goes is, you will be judged based off of your complexion, as well as your physical, facial features, etc. With that said and done, while you can look at me and be confused, like, what the fuck is she? Is she black? Is she Asian? Like, what am I? Okay, but you can clearly look at me for a second and you quickly narrow it down. Either I have to have some type of African in me because look at my lips, look at my eyes, look at my nose, look at my dark complexion. You can tell that there's some African going on. So either I'm South Asian or I am black. But you might also be thinking, maybe she's mixed. But that said and done, when people want to categorize me, it's almost always, oh, you're a black girl. I can easily pass for being biracial, despite the fact that I am not. Do I have other things in me? Yes, I'm technically mixed race, but I identify as being African American, just like how most African Americans do. But that said and done, I have the experience of a mixed person without being mixed. This was my experience in America as well. It's not just black people saying this to me, but even white people. I've actually met some YouTubers here, which I'll talk about that in another video, who also thought that I was mixed race. Japanese people oftentimes think that I'm either half Japanese or that I am from Thailand or Malaysian because of my appearance, as well as the fact that I have dark skin. So it's like, oh, she kind of looks Asian, so is she half Japanese? And especially when they see that I can speak and read some. I'm not perfect at that, but again, that's another story. So staying on topic, while I am an African American, I can observe how other people are treated, and I also get treated as though I am mixed race despite not being that. With that said, Japanese people do not care. You would not be treated as lesser than whatever because you are mixed with any race from a less desirable country, such as being African or from anywhere in the Middle East, etc. You will be judged based off of how you look. And when I say judged, I don't mean like in a hard way like people hate you, but I mean that's what you'll be known as. So for example, doesn't matter how light my skin is, I might be light skinned. So for some black people, which I've had people angrily message me, like, oh, you can't talk on black issues because you're light skinned. Okay. Well, to Japanese people, it doesn't matter how light my skin is, even my students see me as a black person. When people draw pictures of me, I'm drawn as a black person. I'm still black no matter how you want to twist it, paint it, put it, whatever. Well, Japanese people view it the exact same way. They can see that I'm not as dark as other people if they really want to get technical, but to be honest, people don't differentiate. It doesn't matter if I'm next to a really dark-skinned black person or a brown-skinned black person, we're both black at the end of the day, in the eyes of the Japanese. So what it all comes down to is, are you black passing or white passing? So even although you might be a different mix, being mixed does not necessarily mean black and white. You can be black and Hispanic, you can be black and Indian, black and Middle Eastern, white and Middle Eastern, white and whatever. You can be all kinds of different things, white and Hispanic. The list goes on. There's lots of different countries as well. Just because, you are, I don't know, let's say black and Latina, okay? What exact country did you come from? There's a lot of Latino countries. You get what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, I know I sound ignorant or whatever, but I'm just trying to talk as it is without doing a ton of research. You get what I'm trying to say. With that said, people will not see you as being whatever mixture you are, even when you talk to people. So for example, let's say that people ask you, oh, where are you from? And you tell them, oh, I'm from America. They're not gonna ask you after that, like, oh, what race are you? They'll just be like, oh, American. If you bother to tell people, like, I'm half black, half white, they'll be like, oh, and then, they might say, oh, Sugoi, or something stupid like that. They'll be impressed for 2 seconds, and whenever they refer to you or introduce you to other people, you will be known as being American. They don't care that you're mixed race. They don't care how light or dark you are. It doesn't matter. How do you determine if you're, white passing or black passing, etc.? It goes based off of your features and or your complexion. So for example, when you look at me, while I might appear to be half black, half white to you, while I might appear to be half Japanese, half black to you, you can look at me and what you see mostly in me is a black woman. You see a woman who has African features, you see a woman with an African complexion, and so you instantly think, oh, she's black. Well, that's the same way it goes in Japan. Yes, you can most certainly, be white passing as a mixed person. You can be biracial and you can have blonde hair, blue eyes, like how my niece actually does, and she is biracial, and my sister, she is black. But with that said and done, my half-sister to be exact, you get what I'm saying? So it's all a matter of what you personally look like. It doesn't matter what your parents are, it doesn't matter what country you came from. Japanese people do not refer to people based off of their race. You will always be called by your nationality. If I call myself African American, I'm corrected and called American when they talk to other people. They will never say African American to refer to me. When they talk about, trying to distinguish between me and another foreigner, they will always say the American. They will not say the black American or the black foreigner. Now, if there's 2 of us that are both foreigners, and that's really rare too, I can count the time somebody's actually called me black in Japanese, they will almost always, try to describe me to that person. So they might say, oh, the girl with the fringe or the black long hair, something like that. That's the way that you will be, talked about. People will not dislike you because of what country you're from. Attractive is attractive. So while you might be, let's say you're from Africa and you're not mixed, they don't care that you're from some country in Africa. You can be from Nigeria, Kenya, it doesn't matter. If you're hot, people will hit on you, they will talk to you, they will call you cute, etc. They do not care that I'm American versus a girl that is Australian. If the Australian chick is more attractive than me, then she's more attractive than me and they'll give her more attention. If a girl from India is more attractive than me, then they'll talk to her more than me, they'll give her more attention. They do not care about whether you come from a third world country or a first world country, etc. Nobody cares about what mixture you are. You are going to get stares and attention simply because you are not Japanese, and more than likely you don't look Asian. And if you do look Asian, like how a lot of people think I do, it still comes off as, oh, she's a foreigner. And not everyone would think the same thing. So for example, I get a lot of people that both message me and even stop me outside asking, hey, are you half Japanese? I've been asked to model before in Tokyo, people thinking that I was half Japanese, and I was not. And with that said, you have some people that think, oh, she must be half Japanese right away. You have others that look at me and they're like, oh, a black foreigner. Instantly, they see American. So everyone's perspective on what you look like is totally different. And to be honest, I know what that's like as a person of color. You overthink things, especially when it comes to being in Japan. You will confuse people staring at you with people thinking that you're some sort of freak or whatever. To be honest, yeah, you kind of are going to look like a freak, but it's not because you're mixed, it's because you're not Japanese. You're going to stand out like a sore thumb. If you have big eyes, you have colored eyes, you have dark skin, you have curly hair, whatever the case is, you're tall, you're overweight, whatever it is, you're going to get more attention because you stand out. It's not because people are making fun of you or they think you're weird or, whatever, they probably think you're really cute. They want to learn English from you. They want to take a picture of and or with you. They are curious. I'm not defending racist stuff that does happen here, but to be honest, you won't really deal with much of that, and it will pretty much never have to do with your complexion and or your nationality. Japanese people don't care. All foreigners are seen as one and the same. So again, there's no mixed foreigners in Japan. It ultimately comes down to two races. You are either black or you are white, is what people will see you as when it comes down to coloring people. However, in general, people will ask you where you are from, not is your mom black, is your dad white? You won't get those kind of questions. Those are rare. Instead, they'll want to know what country you are from and what language you speak. That will determine what you are viewed as. So for example, despite the fact that I used to call myself African American, now I'm just American. They can piece together what color I am on their own. They're not stupid. They will either see me as being a black American, or they'll see me as being, oh, look, is she half Japanese? Is she Thai? Is she Malaysian? Is she whatever? They will piece together what I am on their own. That's the way that it goes. However, even when they do think these things, they do not call you that. You will simply be known as your nationality. So don't worry about it. If you're attractive, you're attractive. They don't care what country you came from. You're gonna get looks, you're gonna get stares, you're gonna have to get used to it, but so do white and black people, people that are not mixed like myself. It doesn't matter. You will always get attention here simply because you are the cute foreigner. Whether you're a girl or a guy, it's inevitable. You cannot avoid it, you cannot escape it. So that's that. I hope this gave you a little bit of peace of mind. If you have more specific questions, you can leave a comment down below or send me an email. Once again, don't worry about your race, don't worry about being mixed. People are not out to get you. They don't hate people that are mixed. They don't hate black people. They don't hate people that are from the Middle East, etc. I have other videos going into other details if you're worried about your sexuality as well as religion. I have a separate video that talks about those two things. That's a whole nother story. But even as far as that goes, Japanese people are not very vocal when they are prejudiced and are racist. So do not worry. It's very rare to encounter someone that's crazy and like radical out there against foreigners. And even then, it's normally directed towards Korean and or Chinese people, and it deals more so with politics, such as the debate about comfort women and, you know, financial things, etc., and land disputes. Not a matter of what color people are or even religion. People don't really care about those things. So if you're concerned about that, you really shouldn't be, because people aren't going to care. And if you tell people what your religion is or what your mixture is, they will just say like, oh, they'll just be interested. They'll, you know, just brush it off, not really care. Don't worry about it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful. If you did, please leave a comment down below and like it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Other than that, I would really appreciate it if you would follow me on Instagram and Twitter, as well as my Snapchat. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!